Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Bold and the Beautiful Friday, April 25 recap. Brooke escapes to Dazzle Ridge. The Bold and the Beautiful, B&B, recap for Friday, April 25, reveals that Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Len, escaped in time to Dazzle Ridge Forester, Thorsten Kaye, on the runway, while jealous Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, watched. At the fashion show on Friday's B&B episode, the models twirled and let Daphne Roses, Muriel Hilaire, fragrances waft over to all the guests, who were clearly pleased as they sniffed. In a backstage area, Eric Forrester, John McCook, kept playing up how Ridge should remember who he is when he's with Brooke. Eric also shared a nice conversation with Zend Forrester Dominguez, Dylan Demetz, as they watched the fashion show on a nearby monitor. Zend got plenty of praise from Eric for staying at Forrester Creations and representing the family during all the takeover drama. Since it was almost time for the showstopper, Eric had Electra Forrester, Lania Grace, and Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, search for Brooke. Katie Logan, Heather Tom, wound up joining Will and Electra's hunt when she realized Brooke was missing. Steffi also noticed Taylor was missing and quizzed Ridge about her mom's whereabouts. Meanwhile, Brooke was in full-blown panic mode as she banged on the door and called for help. Since the room was a vault, Brooke explained that Taylor had locked them in there. Taylor didn't have her phone to call for help, but she insisted she didn't lock them in on purpose and thought Brooke was blowing things out of proportion. At one point, Brooke hinted about wanting to be friends, or at least adults for the sake of their families. Taylor pushed Brooke to get honest about how she betrayed Ridge by snatching up the CEO gig, no matter how she tried to spin it in the aftermath. Taylor acted like that permanently altered Ridge's view of Brooke and made a prediction that nothing would change his mind. Brooke was secretly hoping the showstopper would fix things, so she resumed her efforts to get out of there. Taylor grew increasingly suspicious of what Brooke was up to before Katie, Will, and Electra found them trapped in the vault. Charlie Weber, Dick Christie, was called to come rescue Taylor and Brooke, so he used his key to let them out. Back with Eric, he expressed concerns about the showstopper and sent Ridge to stall on stage. Ridge made a speech and ultimately didn't want to disappoint the crowd, but he suggested they might have to cut the event short. However, Brooke donned the showstopper dress, which looked like the Portofino design with some modern updates. Just when it looked like they might have to skip the showstopper, Brooke came strutting out and blew Ridge away along with all the guests. Ridge took Brooke's hand as they shared a celebratory moment to cap off the fashion show. Around the corner, Taylor peeked at what was happening on the runway and certainly didn't look pleased about it. Steffi came up behind Taylor and grew concerned about her mom's reaction. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Brooke may be taking a victory lap in her mind, but some bad news is headed her way. In a whirlwind episode of The Bold and the Beautiful on Friday, April 25, 2025, emotions ran high as Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Len, found herself at a crossroads in her tumultuous relationship with Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye. The episode delved deep into the complexities of love, trust, and the undeniable chemistry that continues to bind these two characters. A tense reunion. The episode opened with Brooke and Ridge sharing a moment in the Forrester Creations office. Ridge had just returned from Paris, where he had been working on a new deal and spending time with his son, Thomas, and grandson, Douglas. As they exchanged pleasantries, the underlying tension between them was palpable. Brooke, ever the supportive partner, listened intently as Ridge spoke about his trip. However, her mind seemed elsewhere, reflecting on the challenges their relationship had faced. Brooke's confession. As the conversation progressed, Brooke couldn't hold back any longer. She confessed to Ridge that she had been keeping a secret from him, one that involved their son, RJ. Ridge, sensing the gravity of the situation, urged her to share what was troubling her. Brooke hesitated but eventually revealed that RJ was going through a difficult time in his relationship, and she had promised him not to disclose the details. Ridge, understanding the delicate nature of the situation, reassured her that they would handle it together. Sharp, scene canon, was causing ripples in the lives of those around him. Still grappling with the aftermath of Sheila Carter's Kimberlin Brown actions, Deacon was adamant that Sheila was still alive. He shared his theories with Finn, Tanner Novlin, showing him a photo of a woman named Sugar who bore a striking resemblance to Sheila. Finn, skeptical at first, was taken aback by the evidence presented. The possibility that Sheila might have a twin or a clone was a notion too bizarre to dismiss entirely. Steffi and Hope's concerns. Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McKins Wood, and Hope Logan, Annika Noel, were also grappling with the implications of Deacon's claims. Steffi expressed her frustration, stating that Deacon's refusal to accept Sheila's death was hindering their ability to move forward. Hope, while understanding her father's grief, agreed that it was becoming increasingly difficult to support him in his delusions. Both women hoped that Deacon would eventually come to terms with the reality of the situation. Ridge's romantic gesture. Back at Forrester Creations, Ridge, ever the romantic, planned a special evening for him and Brooke. He arranged for a couple's massage and a gourmet dinner, hoping to rekindle the spark in their relationship. Brooke, touched by his gesture, agreed to join him, setting aside the day's earlier tensions. As the evening unfolded, the couple shared intimate moments, reminding each other of the deep bond they shared. Brooke's escape. However, the serenity of the evening was short-lived. Brooke, overwhelmed by the complexities of her emotions and the challenges in her relationship with Ridge, found herself at a crossroads. She realized that in order to find clarity, she needed some time away. With a heavy heart, she decided to leave, seeking solace and perspective away from the whirlwind of her current life. A glimmer of hope. As Brooke departed, Ridge was left to reflect on their relationship and the hurdles they had faced. He understood her need for space and hoped that this time apart would provide the clarity they both needed. The episode concluded with a sense of uncertainty, but also a glimmer of hope that, despite the challenges, love might find its way back into their lives. Key takeaways. Brooke and Ridge's reunion was marked by underlying tension and unspoken concerns. Deacon's insistence on Sheila's survival introduced new complications for Finn and his family. Steffi and Hope's shared concerns highlighted the strain Deacon's beliefs were placing on their relationships. Ridge's romantic gesture showcased his enduring love for Brooke, even amidst their challenges. Brooke's decision to seek time away indicated her need for clarity and self-reflection. As the storyline progresses, viewers are left eagerly anticipating how these developments will unfold and impact the characters' futures.